What's up, guys? You are watching the Shieldbearer Faith channel. Thank you for being here. So, I had the question posed from another video I did about what was in the $6 trauma kit. Let me give a little background real quick, okay? I assembled this kit to fit into a standard size sandwich bag, and it was designed to be a cheaper option, maybe even a toss kit option, in a bleeding control oriented service, okay? So the idea is that maybe you don't have a lot of money, maybe you're somebody that's just not willing to go buy, the most up-to-date, expensive medical bleeding control gear. But maybe you're somebody that, is seeing the way current events are going, and you're like, you know what? I need to carry something. I could help. If somebody gets injured, right? People get injured. It's part of life. Well, this kit here is kind of a bare bones basic idea. So let's run through it. To start with, again, everything fits in a plastic bag, and I have a second plastic bag. This one is thicker. It is a gallon size freezer bag, I believe. And it is in here for the purpose of being a makeshift occlusive dressing over a puncture wound to the chest if you needed a chest seal. That's the idea there, okay? Next we have some rubber gloves. This is a pair rolled up together. Over-rolled duct tape, just rolled over on itself. A surgical gauze pad. Now this differs from a standard 4x4 gauze pad because you will see there is a significant thickness difference here, okay? But you have a surgical gauze pad and a 4x4, and then we have a 2x2 gauze pad, 2 straight from Chick-fil-A Purell sanitation wipes, 2 packages of rolled gauze. I love gauze, guys. I'm really a big fan of rolled gauze. It's got so many uses. 2 Band-Aids. This is a cool item from Walmart. This is called Bleed Stop. It reminds me of being kind of like a quick clot idea. It's supposed to speed up coagulation, from what I'm gathering. And then a standard ace bandage. Okay, so what you'll take away from this is not many of these items are sold together. So yes, you will have to spend more than $6 to get all of these items originally. But once you do that, and it's probably no more than 30 total, once you do that, you can assemble several of these kits for approximately $6 each. I say approximately because it will vary depending on where you go. Some of the items like these are free. You already have the sandwich bags. You get the point. Now let's break it down what you could accomplish with some of this. Get your brain working. So plastic bags with tape over top of a chest puncture. You can seal that up potentially. Same idea. Let's say you don't use the rubber glove on your hand. It is a rubbery texture. Conceal a puncture. You have gauze, you can pack a wound, you can wrap a wound should you need to with gauze, right? You could also create a sling for an arm if you know how to do that, potentially with this gauze. You have a surgical gauze pad in combination with the rolled gauze or the ace bandage, and you essentially have an Israeli bandage, right? That 4x4 in conjunction again with either the ace bandage or the rolled gauze will be for a more minor wound, maybe a small cut, something like that. You can address that. Band-aids are obvious. The 2x2 identical to the 4x4, just smaller. And then again, if you had a more severe bleed, you can use the bleed stop, okay? That's a quick run through. Another alternative. Let's say that you are somebody, I call this the mommy kit. Let's say you're someone who's just getting into all of this. And I just used a boatload of terms that you are not able to go with. You're not understanding. Maybe you don't really have interest in it, but maybe you say to yourself, I could carry something. I've got kids maybe, they bump their knee, they scrape their head, whatever. This kit is a really, really good entry into the idea of bleeding control items, okay? All this is 2x2s, 4x4s, and Band-Aids. Why is this the mommy kit? Because if you're not really on board with preparedness or bleeding control stuff, this can start you in that direction. This also is a kit that is really cheap to assemble. You probably already have everything in your house you already would need, and it is really frequently useful. How often do you think you need Band-Aids, right? Maybe add some Neosporin and there you go. A very, very basic, lightweight first aid kit for minor bleeding. It's also a really good way to get somebody who's not inherently interested in carrying a medical kit kind of on board. They're much easier to rationalize carrying something like Band-Aids than carrying something like a surgical gauze pad with duct tape, okay? That's the kit, guys. Not a huge deal, not overly expensive. Anybody could assemble it. Anybody should be able to use it with pretty little training. It's cool to have the cool guy stuff, tourniquets, Israeli bandages, all the high-speed stuff. But this is an alternative if you just don't have the funds, or you can assemble all this, put it in the bag, and have it as a toss kit. Maybe you'll save somebody's life. Alright guys, I hope it helps, and I'll see you later.